The comfort zone is a quiet trap that we build by doing the same things over and over and being afraid of what the future holds. It threatens not only our growth but also the core of who we are and who we could become. Inspired by the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, which is a guide for people who want to find inner strength and control over their feelings. In this video, we will look at important lessons for breaking out of this invisible prison. Number 1. Know that being uncomfortable is a sign that you are growing. On our way through life, we often face difficult situations that push us out of our comfort zone and make us feel bad. At first glance, these times may seem bad, but they hide a deep truth. Epictetus, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, said it so well. These times teach us a valuable lesson. He gives us a new way of looking at things. What bothers us is not the events themselves, but how we respond to them. We shouldn't see pain as an enemy. Instead, we should see it as a strict but fair teacher who pushes us to go beyond our limits. This mentor doesn't come to beat us. Instead, they come to guide us through hard times so that we can become stronger and more developed. In the middle of this, pain is where the chance to grow and change as a person lies. Think of yourself as a rough rock. In the same way that pressure and heat can turn coal into a valuable gem, bad events can change who we are and show us how strong and brilliant we really are. There is a hidden chance in every task and problem that helps us grow as people and as spirit. So the next time something forces you out of your comfort zone, take a deep breath and see it not as a problem, but as a chance to better yourself. Always keep in mind that every bit of pain you feel is an important part of the beautiful fabric that is your life. You will grow into your full potential through the challenges you face. So be brave and open to them. It might not be easy to change your point of view, but it is so worth it. By taking this method, you not only get through tough times, but you also turn them into a journey of self-discovery and growth. When you stop seeing discomfort as a problem and see it as a challenge to be met, you see it as a call to the adventure of life, where every step out of your comfort zone is a step toward your own growth. To sum up, let your pain teach you and lead you. It should form you, push you, and most of all, teach you something. In this way, you will not only get through hard times, but you will also come out of them stronger, smarter, and better ready for the next tasks life throws at you. To become the best form of yourself, you have to be strong, determined, and always want to do better. This is what personal growth is all about. Number 2. Give up the need for control from outside sources. Let's continue our journey of self-discovery and growth by reading another wise quote. This time it comes from Marcus Aurelius, who was a famous Roman emperor and a devoted follower of the Stoic philosophy. He gives us strong advice that has stood the test of time. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This sentence sums up a basic truth about freedom and control in our lives. We live in a world where things happen that are out of our control all the time. Seeking outside control can be a never-ending source of anger and discontent, whether it's at work, in relationships, or in other parts of daily life. Marcus Aurelius's wise words tell us to shift our attention to the fact that we have full control over the sails of our inner ship, even if we can't control the winds of change. So, true freedom isn't about changing the world to fit our needs. It's about building a mind that can stand up to any storm with calm and determination. This means accepting the things we can't change and putting our attention on the things we can change, like how we think, feel, and act. When we accept this idea, we start a deep change. We go from being slaves to our need to control things that we can't control to being masters of our own minds. This new way of looking at things is freeing. It helps us go through life with more peace and confidence, knowing that we have control over our feelings and responses, no matter what is going on around us. Think for a moment that you are an experienced sailor going through seas you have never been to before. The winds and waves are out of your control, but you can change your sails and decide what to do next. Like life, which is uncertain and often hard, but can always be figured out with the help of your own sense of reason and strength. So I want you to think about the parts of your life where trying to control others has sapped your energy. What is truly under my control will help you understand how powerful it is to choose how to react to the ups and downs of life. By thinking this way, you will not only find the strength that Marcus Aurelius talked about, but you will also find a way to live a happier, more worthwhile life. You learn to value your own freedom more than the unknowns in the outside world. And no matter what is going on around you, you find peace and happiness. In short, we start a path of self-discovery and empowerment when we let go of the false belief that we can control other people and focus on what we can really change. This is the essence of a calm and purposeful life, one that is led by an inner light of wisdom and peace, no matter what storms are happening around them. Number 3, turn obstacles into opportunities. When we're going through life, we always have to deal with waves of problems that seem impossible to solve, though Marcus Aurelius's timeless wisdom reminds us of a powerful truth. What stands in the way becomes the way. This life-changing view teaches us to see every problem not as something that gets in the way, but as a precious chance to grow and change as a person. Our ability to bounce back from setbacks is built by the problems we face along the way. Each of these problems is like a strict master whose lessons are meant to make us stronger, not beat us. When we face these problems head-on instead of avoiding them, we make room for the growth of skills and traits that might not be used if things went more smoothly. It takes creativity and a fresh point of view to turn problems into possibilities. We have to ask ourselves, how can I make the best of this situation? What skills can I improve here? What is the hidden lesson in this challenge? These questions help us get past our initial frustration and lead us to a road of discovery and opportunities. Think of each problem as a rock in the stream of your life. You can either go around it and stay in the safety of water you know, or you can use it as a starting stone to move into new currents. By taking the second option, you not only get past the challenge, but you also gain energy to reach new areas of your own abilities and potential that you haven't explored before. The process of turning problems into steps for growth is an ongoing one that helps us learn and get better. When we face our fears and stick with it, every task teaches us more about who we are, our strengths and weaknesses, and how to get past our limits. This method also helps us get ready for difficulties in the future. We grow something, a way of thinking that helps us deal with life in a more effective and positive way. As we age, we become more adjustable and flexible, able to handle changes and uncertainty with more ease and confidence. Here's a challenge. For 30 days, choose to be present and use every moment for something. Don't put things off or be afraid of failing. Take advantage of every chance to get better. Remember that taking action is the first step toward real change. If you're up for the task, leave a comment with the word "New Beginnings" and the date of today. I'll mark your reply so you don't forget. Let's keep going. Number 4. Practice selective indifference. The practice of apatheia, or selective indifference, is a strong way to deal with the difficulties of life with peace and purpose, according to Stoic thought. Being emotionally disconnected from the world around us, or not caring about it, is not what this idea means. Instead, it means choosing not to let things outside of our power throw off our inner balance. When we practice selective indifference, we pay attention to what we can control, which is our own actions, responses, and attitudes. As part of this practice, we consciously stop worrying too much about things like material comforts, other people's views, and things that happen in the outside world that we can't change. By doing this, we not only save our energy for more important things that are in line with our values, but we also develop an inner freedom that gives us more courage and drive to face life. Because of this, selective disinterest is a choice about where to put our energy and attention. In a world full of stimuli and constant requests, it's important to learn how to tell the difference between things that make us feel upset and things that we can handle calmly. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or not taking responsibility for making the world a better place. Instead, it means taking a position of conscious engagement, where our actions are guided by meaning and purpose instead of impulse or other things that come up. Think of your mind as a garden. Picking which seeds to plant, water and grow with care is what selective indifference is all about. By choosing only those that are in line with your values and goals, you make an inner place that grows and doesn't get crowded out by small worries and short-term discomforts. This garden inside you turns into a place of peace and power from which you can act with clarity and conviction in the world. Using selective indifference also means being open to the fact that things change and that life is unsure. Realizing that we can't change many things about our lives lets us focus on the things we can change, like the choices and attitudes we have when life gives us chances and challenges. Furthermore, when we don't care about outside comforts and distractions, we make room in our lives for deeper, more important goals without the constant need to gain approval or material things. We can give our all to interests, relationships, and issues that make our lives better and help the world as a whole. Number 5. Think about your morals again. Stoic philosophy tells us to constantly and deeply look at our values and to tell the difference between our wants and the real needs that give our lives meaning. This process of critical self-reflection is necessary to break free from the golden chains of ease, comfort, and false security that keep us stuck in a state of mediocrity and laziness. We are urged to question social norms and expectations that shape how we see success and happiness when we re-evaluate our values. To do this, we have to be honest about what we really value and what is just a mirror of what society wants us to be. By recognizing this difference, we can start to separate ourselves from outside pressures and build a path that is more in line with our true values and inner goals. This process of re-evaluation is not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing one that needs constant attention and a readiness to face pain. It can be both uncomfortable and freeing to realize that many of our needs are actually wants that are shaped by outside forces. It helps us figure out what we don't need and get rid of it, so we can focus on what really makes our lives better and helps us grow as people and spiritually. Being able to tell the difference between wants and needs helps us live a more centered and intentional life. We stop constantly seeking new things to buy or approval from other people and start to value events, relationships, and activities that help our health, happiness, and personal growth. This change in our beliefs gives us the power to live more authentically, happily, and with a sense of purpose. Freeing ourselves from the golden chains also gives us more freedom to deal with the difficulties of life. Dependence on material comforts and safety can leave us open to the changes and unknowns that come with being human. Values like resilience, gratitude, and compassion, on the other hand, make us stronger so we can handle life's storms with calm and bravery. Number 6. Work on being present and taking conscious action. Stoics say that the key to a happy and successful life is to practice being present and acting consciously. Stoicism teaches us to value the present moment as the main stage on which life really happens, not just as an idea. A lot of the time, the safety zone tempts us with the false promise that there will be a better time to act, be who we want to be, or do what we want to do in the future. But waiting for the right conditions keeps us from realizing our full potential because it makes us put things off and not do anything. Adopting a Stoic view means realizing that each moment is valuable and that putting things off because we're afraid of failing or wanting a perfect future is bad for our growth. As a practice, being present helps us pay attention to the present moment and act on our ideals and principles right away. To do this, we have to bravely accept that failing is a normal part of learning and growing, and that waiting for the perfect time is a lie that holds us back. The habit of doing things with full attention and a clear goal is called conscious action. Not just doing things for the sake of doing them, but making sure that what we do is in line with our core values and goals. That means we have to be intentional about how we spend our time and energy, picking paths that help us grow as people and make a difference in the world. We can break free from fear and delay by practicing being present and taking conscious action. Every event, every struggle, and every happy moment is seen as an important part of our journey. We can live a fuller life this way because we use the present to shape the future we want, instead of just sitting back and waiting for it to happen. Imagine that your life is made up of present moments, and that each one holds the seed of a huge number of possible futures. You become the artist of your own life when you choose to live each moment with presence and purpose. You can turn each moment into a masterpiece. Number 7. Give up on things you can't change. As we learn more about Stoic teachings, we come across a concept that helps us find our way through the sometimes rough waters of life: accepting what we can't change. To find peace, this basic idea tells us how important it is to accept and enjoy the steady flow of life, knowing that change is the only thing that stays the same. Being able to accept things is not a sign of weakness or defeat. It means being wise and strong. It means admitting that we can't control everything that happens in the outside world, but we can control how we react to things inside our heads. When we accept this concept, we free ourselves from a lot of the needless pain that comes from fighting what will happen and trying to change the world only to fit our needs. Trying to control the uncontrolled is like trying to hold water with closed hands. In the end, the water gets out, leaving us frustrated. On the other hand, when we open our hands and let the water flow easily, we find both the beauty of its flow and the peace that comes with letting it happen as it will. This acceptance doesn't mean we don't do anything about the problems we face in life. It means we choose to put our energy and efforts where they can really make a difference. It means figuring out what we can change and what we can't, then putting all of our efforts into the things we can change and letting go of the things we can't change. Acceptance is a practice that is mostly about being humble and brave. Being humble enough to know our flaws and brave enough to go through life with an open mind, trusting that we have the strength to change and do well, even when things go wrong or are out of our control. Just picture yourself as a tree for a moment. Around you, the weather changes with the seasons. It winds, rains, and shines, but you stay strong and grounded. You don't fight the weather. Instead, you become flexible and let the wind carry the leaves when the time comes. This is what acceptance is all about: being able to stay strong and grow no matter what is going on around you. Number 8. Learn to be self-sufficient. One of the most powerful ideas in Stoic teachings is the idea of being able to take care of yourself. This principle helps us understand that real happiness and peace don't come from getting more stuff or being liked by other people, but from having a lot of good things in our inner world. Self-sufficiency is the skill of finding happiness and satisfaction inside yourself that doesn't depend on outside forces. Many modern ideas which link happiness with material success or social acceptance are at odds with this idea of peace coming from within. But when we accept our inability to provide for ourselves, we find an unmatched freedom. The freedom to be who we really are no matter what happens around us. Self-sufficiency means putting time and money into our own personal growth, getting to know ourselves better, and making our character stronger. It means learning to enjoy and respect our own company, and realizing that even though relationships and connections with other people are important and helpful, The most important company we keep is the one we keep with ourselves. When we find inner peace, we start to see things like material goods and social approval for what they really are. Nice additions to our lives, not the things that make us happy. This doesn't mean we reject these things. It just means we need to think again about how important they are in our lives. Think of your happiness as a plant that you grow in your inner yard. Self-sufficiency is the rich dirt that this plant needs to grow strong and well, no matter what the weather is like outside. Giving this plant water means making time for things that are good for your soul, like books, art, meditation, or anything else that makes you feel good. Accepting yourself with all your good and bad traits is another part of practicing self-sufficiency. It's a call to enjoy your humanity and understand that perfection is a lie. Real growth comes from accepting and loving yourself. Number 9. Try to see things objectively. Another important part of Stoic thought is taking an objective view. This is a powerful way to deal with life's ups and downs with balance and wisdom. Practicing this principle teaches us to separate our emotions from the things going on around us. This lets us look at our events without bias. By doing this, we make it possible for people to make choices based on reason instead of impulses or strong feelings right away. This way of thinking doesn't mean stifling your feelings or living a life without fire. Instead, it means realizing that even though our feelings are an important part of who we are, they don't have to control what we do or how we see things. When we take our emotions out of situations and look at them with a more objective eye, we can see things from different points of view and pick the one that fits our values and goals the best. Watch the scenes of your life through the lens of a camera, as if you were a movie director. This comparison helps us understand how important it is to look at our lives from a different angle, letting us appreciate and understand things more fully as they happen. This point of view gives us the power to think about how to react to things more carefully, avoiding hasty responses that could cause worries or problems that aren't necessary. To practice objective watching, we also need to be aware that our thoughts and feelings can make many of the problems we face worse. We can see problems for what they really are when we take a more neutral stance and take away the meanings we often give them. This not only helps us come up with better answers, but it also cuts down on the needless suffering that can come from having a skewed view of reality. A neutral point of view is also helpful for building respect and understanding between people. Getting away from our own feelings makes us more willing to see things from other people's points of view, which leads to better interactions. Number 10. Work on your knowledge and empathy. As we learn more about Stoic ideas, we come across a call to build kindness and understanding as the building blocks of a happy and fulfilling life. Taking this advice to heart helps us understand how important it is to try to see things from other people's points of view, not just as a way to show compassion, but also as a way to develop patience, tolerance, and eventually peace. Ability to feel what someone else feels is a strong force that helps people get along and build bridges between them. By doing this, we can understand the thoughts, feelings, and situations that lead other people to act in ways that may seem strange or illogical at first. When we show empathy, we let the rich tapestry of human experiences fill our hearts and see that our problems and hopes are shared by everyone. Seeing the world through other people's eyes is also a practice of being humble and open. It teaches us not to judge people too quickly and to value the depth of how people act. In this case, it doesn't mean agreeing with every opinion or deed. It means trying to figure out where those things come from. By knowing this, we can respond with more care and sensitivity, which leads to more productive conversations and deeper connections. Developing empathy and understanding is especially important when people don't agree with each other. In these situations, being able to see things from other people's points of view and accept that their experiences are real can be the first step toward resolving disagreements peacefully When we approach others with openness and interest instead of defense or hostility, we make room for everyone to understand and get along. Also, as we learn to understand how others feel, we become better able to make the world a better place. Knowing a lot about other people's problems and needs makes us more aware and selfless, whether it's by giving them emotional support or working together to solve a problem. Number 11. Be brave every day. In the vast treasure of Stoic knowledge, being brave is one of the most important values. This principle tells us that being fearless is not what makes us brave. What makes us brave is facing our fears and getting through them. It's always asking us to push the edges of what we think we know, to step out of our comfort zones, and with each brave action, to get closer to who we really are. Being brave means making the choice to act even when fear and doubt are whispering in our ears. There is courage in every choice we make to face the unknown, or every action we take toward a goal, even if we have questions. This practice is where we find our strength, our ability to bounce back, and our ability to change. Not taking risks for no reason, or ignoring real dangers that may come our way, is not part of practicing courage every day. Rather, it's about knowing the difference between when fear is a good thing and when it gets in the way of our growth. Courage asks us to tell the difference, to judge our decisions not by how fearless we are, but by whether they are in line with values and goals that we think are more important than our fears. There is joy in every step out of our comfort zones, no matter how small. It shows that we can get through anything. These steps are the building blocks that will help us get to our real selves, the parts of ourselves that are more in line with our goals and dreams. We can broaden our horizons and boost our self-confidence and faith in our ability to handle life's problems by pushing ourselves to act even when we're scared. Personal growth is like climbing a mountain. The mountain is steep and the road isn't always clear. At times the fear of falling seems too great to handle, but each step forward, each hold won, not only gets you closer to the top, but also changes you. You get smarter, stronger, and most of all, you become more aware of how brave you are. This path is not for the weak-hearted. You need to be strong on the inside, ready to face the unknown, and able to see past the comfort of the moment to long-term growth. But those who are brave enough to go down this path will get freedom, peace, and a life that has meaning and purpose. There is a lot more we can do than our fears and comforts make us think. By following these Stoic rules, we can reach our full potential and live lives that are in line with our highest goals. Use this as a motivation to not only push yourself, but also change your life. It's a lesson that the only way to be truly great is to face and overcome hardship. We should all find the courage to step out of our comfort zones and enjoy the big, unpredictable, and undeniably beautiful wonder that is life. When was the last time you got out of your comfort zone? Please feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comment section below. Click here to watch 13 lessons on how to use rejection to your favor. Be stoic, stay stoic.